Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. You can't teach an old gamer new tricks. I'm Ryan, and with me, as always, my good buddy Rob.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
You just need a jukebox you can hit to play the.
Good old Henry Winkler.
Yeah. How's it going?
Hey, good. How you doing?
Good. Summer's here.
Summer's here.
Even though, last week when we were recording, it was snowing outside. It it cleared right up.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day today. We're out in the garden, doing a lot of the weeding. Kids are starting to plant stuff in the back.
Yeah.
We have a short season for growing stuff in Edmonton here, but good to take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
That's right. Busy, and with summer comes some busy video gaming news. Absolutely.
But before we get to news, just a little bit of housekeeping. Still free games to give away, people. Just send us an email to makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. We'll send you a Steam code. Easy as that. Also, I was looking at our metrics for the audio podcast, and people have been downloading past episodes, which is awesome. Awesome to hear. So, you know what? If you're listening on the audio, which seems to be getting more downloads than our videos right now, just, you know what? Shoot us an email of what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of. If you want Rob to leave the show, want me to leave the show.
Okay.
Just...
Please don't say that you want me to leave the show. Yeah. That's hurtful.
There's my reminder to turn my phone off.
Yep, me too.
Moving on, moving right on into you know what? It's a proven fact now that he doesn't watch our show, because he'll be like 2 days from now he'll post an article about something we've been talking about.
Yep, that's right. You know what makes it even funnier about the metrics for the audio podcast?
What is that?
Last week they were pretty good, even though I just realized I totally forgot to post last week's podcast.
Oh.
So those are all for 2 weeks and longer. So
okay.
Bonus. Just think how well we would have done if I had remembered to post last week's. Oh, shoot.
Oh. Like I said, in an email, if you want Rob to leave.
Yeah, no, that was pretty. That's pretty embarrassing. I just realized that as you were talking about it. That I don't think I ever posted it.
Yeah,
I'll do that right after the show.
Sounds good. Okay. Well, first bit of news we have is PlayStation confirms that they're going to be appearing at Summer Game Fest, but not E3. So that's interesting.
Summer Games Fest being the creation. I was trying to think of a synonym for creation, but I couldn't. Mm-hmm. Of Jeff Keighley.
Brainchild? Love child?
Maybe not love child. Let's go with Brainchild.
We'll go with Brainchild.
Jeff Keighley, who's been a video game reporter for long time, long time. And he originally created the Summer Game Fest as kind of a thing to fill in the gap of E3. And now E3 is back, and the Summer Game Fest is back a week later. So, all virtually, but it's still cool to see some sort of video game news, and we'll be covering quite a bit of it and checking out things that interest us, and you'll be see our thoughts on things. So, whether you like it or not, because
who doesn't love E3 news?
We're opinionated. It's part of being older.
So that's just a little bit of interesting news that they I don't know, their feelings must have been hurt somehow by E3 by the because yeah, they're gonna go here but not there.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's just you were talking metrics. Maybe more people have been checking out this. Jeff Keighley's a pretty big draw, and it looks like there's a bunch of other.
Well, he also like announced that he wasn't gonna, because he used to do a lot of the emceeing at E3.
Right,
like,
right.
And he decided to just take it and make it his own.
That's right.
I think it's
a ball and going home.
I think it's kind of a follow up to, or in conjunction with his video game awards too, right? Because that's his thing too, right? So,
man, yeah, I'm looking at the calendar here. He's got Weezer performing as a kickoff.
Nice.
Yeah. Speaking of bands that were popular 20 years ago,
they're still putting music out.
Yeah, I stick to my previous statement of being popular 20 years ago.
True.
I mean, and I don't mind them. I don't mind them. It's just funny. They definitely know the market they're looking at. But yeah, looking at the people who are contributing, yeah, they've got everyone from 2K to Blizzard to Bandai Namco. Sega's going to be there, or Xbox, Gearbox. EA will have some loot boxes available for purchase.
You can buy loot box for the chance to see their presentation.
That's right. And Amazon Games. Yeah. No Stadia though.
Right.
Or they just weren't big enough to get on the first page. even though Finji is. All right. So yeah, check it out. Summer Game Fest.
Next up, we have the producer of Overwatch 2. What's his name here? Aaron Keller. He's the game director of Overwatch 2. He announced a big change in Overwatch, and that they're going from a 6v6 to a 5v5 format, where you'll have one tank, 2 healers, and 2 I forget the other
the other thing.
I forget what they classify that other group as. Like, I was gonna say action, but that's
would it be like a DPS kind of?
Yeah,
I've never played Overwatch.
That's the term I'm trying to think of. And then 2 DPS. Which is a big change in the dynamic, because I mean, as long as I've played Overwatch, it's always been 6v6, but they're saying that a lot of the tanks can be a little noisy, is actually the term he used, and they can really make things just confusing in the fighting. And it's true. Okay. Some of them like are very like in your face and busting things up, which I kind of thought was the point of it. But
there's no point of a tank. Yeah,
sometimes you get 2 Unreal tanks,
mm-hmm.
and they just dominate the entire game and can really change the tide of things. So, but that'll be an interesting change to see when Overwatch 2 comes out.
That was my next question. When does Overwatch 2 come out?
No date yet. But Blizzard has said to not expect it in 2021.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a Blizzard typical kind of answer.
Yeah, it'll be out when we're ready.
When it's ready.
Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, which is the new series coming to Netflix, got a new trailer and an actual release date.
Okay.
So I don't know if you had a chance to watch a trailer, but man, like it's like the high quality CGI. It's like they made an entire show out of like cutscene CGI.
Okay.
Like it looks pretty amazing. So if you get a chance, look up the Resident Evil Infinite Darkness trailer and see what I mean. Like it totally reminds me of what was that? The Final Fantasy movie that came out, like that kind of quality of like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Spirits one, right? It was called Spirits of something or another.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
And that's coming on July 8th. So coming up real soon here. What else we got? Oh, this news. This news made me grin from ear to ear. Time Splitters,
Mm-hmm.
a beloved FPS from from the 90s, is coming back. So previously, the studio Free Radical Design had been dissolved because I believe they were picked up by THQ Nordic.
Okay.
And just kind of absorbed into there. And then I think THQ Nordic may have been picked up by Deep Silver.
Right.
And so
yes, that's right. Yeah, Deep Silver owns them now. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they're letting them reestablish Free Radical, and they are they're going to be developing Time Splitters too. So I have a real like special place for that game because on the GameCube, I was so excited when the GameCube came out. I picked up James Bond Agents of Fire or something. I can't exactly remember the name of it.
The GameCube version, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It was an EA FPS of James Bond because I wanted a GoldenEye, right? I was looking I had a GoldenEye sized hole in my heart and I needed to fill it.
Right.
And that game did not do it. That game did not do it at all.
I remember it being pretty mediocre. I think I played it on the PS2 or something like that.
Yeah. But man, when Time Splitters came out, that totally reignited it for me. It'll be interesting to see what they do though, because I mean, you had all these characters from like different time periods,
right?
But with kind of like modern twists on their weapons. But that's kind of the whole, like Overwatch kind of does that. I mean, they have their like gunslinger and they've got their bow and arrow guy, and they've
Yeah, that's what's going to be really interesting, because you make a good point there. Like Time Splitters kind of did something; it filled a hole at the time that nothing else really did. But in the last 25 years, really? 25 years or so.
Yeah.
Other things have. So they're kind of coming into a period of time where, what do they do to look a little different, right? Like,
yeah, it's hard to say.
Make it an RTS. There you go. Time Splitters, the beat 'em up.
Yeah, the beat 'em up. But that was the game that I first really tried because playing an FPS with a controller.
Yes,
because I had still at that point I was hardcore. I was a hardcore like keyboard and mouse guy on the PC for shooters, right? But that game trained me to play it on a controller. That was my first foray into that.
Yeah, I remember it having a wicked sense of humor too. Like,
yeah. It was a great game. And that was Time Splitters 2. I don't even know where Time Splitters 1 was, like what it was on or anything.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was PS2 as well, but I think for both. But it has been a long time. Just seeing if I have a copy of it. I do not.
Oh yeah, it was a PlayStation 2 game. It was a PS2 exclusive.
Ah, yes, that's why I played it there.
Yeah, and
there's the box art right there.
Oh yeah, there's two. Yeah, awesome. That's great.
And it even says in the cover, "Heir apparent to GoldenEye."
Yeah,
that is funny.
Well, that's what got my attention with it, right? Like I'd read a bunch of articles about it, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. So, be really interested to see what comes of this.
Yeah, you bet.
What else we got here? Oh, they Nintendo announced the name of the DLCs coming to Age of Calamity.
Okay.
The first one is called Pulse of the Ancients. and the second one is Guardian of Remembrance. I don't I don't know if I went on and on and on and on about how much I love this game. I don't know if I'm gonna partake in these DLCs
Yeah.
because I'm really looking for more like I really like the story and the content.
Yeah.
But like this first DLC um, gives you an expanded roster, new weapon types,
Mm-hmm.
new challenges in the Royal Ancient Lab, and newly added challenging enemies. But there's no more story
Hmm.
stuff, right?
Right.
And I think I told you I kind of burned out a little bit because the chapters were getting to be just like hour-long commitments
Yep. Yep.
towards the end of the game there. So I kind of petered out on that. But even the second one, Guardian of Remembrance, new character vignettes. I'm not sure what that means. Like their intros or
Yeah. Yeah. That's usually what a vignette is. It's like an opening
oh, but
description.
right.
Yeah.
And then oh, but this one, the second one has new stages, so that could be maybe I will have to partake in this. But also it's offering an expanded roster, which is crazy because I don't know who else they can add from Breath of the Wild. Like,
It's Nintendo. I was just going to say, don't assume it's from Breath of the Wild.
oh, excellent
Mm-hmm.
point,
Mm-hmm.
excellent point. And you know what? Well, never mind. I was gonna drop a spoiler there, but and also new battle skills for existing characters, which could be interesting.
There
So,
you go.
all right, they lost me on the first one, but the second one they just reeled me back in.
Good job, Nintendo.
Good job, Nintendo.
Taking his hard-earned money like that. You jerks.
What else we got here? So in a really like out of left field surprise for the No Man's Sky community, um, so a couple months ago in March, there was an update and they added these expeditions to No Man's Sky, where
Okay.
they're basically like they're these you don't play with your main character. Like they kind of start you off with like a ship and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just that it's an expedition, like basically a quest line.
Sure.
Okay, so they dropped this mystery quest line, um, and when people were completed it, the the prize was the Normandy from Mass Effect.
Oh, okay. Normandy's a ship, I'm assuming? Or...
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And it turns out that it's to coincide with the whole Mass Effect like remaster trilogy that just came out.
Ah, okay.
But just completely out of left field, like
Mm-hmm.
no one had any clue, but people were losing their minds
Sure.
when when they were finally finished when they were finally finished it.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Must have had some sort of a brand deal with EA. Or,
Yeah.
yeah, it is EA now, sorry. I was trying to
Yeah.
remember who bought BioWare.
But other people are like they're like wow, like are there going to be more like branded ships coming? And like all I see in all the No Man's Sky forums I follow are just like lists of ships people want to
Sure.
appear now,
Yeah.
right? And the funny thing is it becomes part of your fleet,
Mm-hmm.
which you don't even get to control or anything. Like
okay.
your fleet is basically like a side, like you send your fleet out on the missions and they bring stuff back. Like you never actually deal with those ships unless they're damaged. Then you can go repair them. But
just the fact it's in there, right?
Yeah. And something I didn't get to last week just because we were running a little long. NVIDIA also announced that they're going to be adding the DLSS to No Man's
Right.
Sky on PC, which will
Very
boost
cool.
the frame rate even higher.
Yeah, yeah. It's a feature. When DLSS 1 came out, it was like you could really tell they were upscaling, and it was not real 4K, but the newer iterations of it, it looks pretty darn close.
Yeah.
So that's very cool.
There's a great comparison video if you just Google the DLSS comparison video on it. It's pretty impressive.
Excellent. Now that's assuming you can get a video card, but
yeah.
It'll run really well on that GTX 710 that you can buy at Memory Express right now. And that's a real thing you can Google. Go to memoryexpress.com.
Yeah.
And see what video cards they have in your store. And the GTX 710 is going to be the best one they have. Just use your APU. Don't bother buying a 710.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something we never talked about last week, but there's a good point to bring it up. NVIDIA announced last week that they were blocking blocking the clocking that crypto miners like to use in the video cards.
Yeah, you bet. You did mention that.
Did we talk about it last week?
Yep. Okay. You brought it up right at the end there.
I'm getting old. I forget things.
But yeah. I have to see if that makes any difference in the stock. I mean, more than 0 would be great.
Yeah.
So,
you want to take this next one?
Sure. I actually just pulled up E3's lineup here now, but E3, is going to be going virtual after taking last year off. It's going to be back on June 10th. Actually, it says June 12th, but I thought, okay, maybe the opening was June 10th. But June 12th to June 15th, it's all going to be all online, and fans can start to register June 3rd. So if you want to get in and try and get tickets to, or whatever I don't know what they're calling it. I also don't know how many. I wouldn't assume there's going to be a limit.
Yeah.
Because just add people. And it's funny. I'm just looking at the list of partnering exhibits and sponsors and comparing it to the Summer Game Fest. It's actually fewer people at this E3.
Oh yeah.
I mean, still some great names there. Like obviously no Sony, but Xbox is still there, Nintendo's still there. Bethesda is supposed to be there, but they're going to be merging supposedly now that Xbox is
right. Yeah.
The owner. I mean, Bethesda used to have this great big. They used to do it on their own presentation, and actually, it was always really good. It was one of my favorite ones to watch.
Yeah.
Because Todd Howard's a great speaker. He's a filthy liar about Fallout, but he's a great speaker, and I don't blame Fallout entirely on him. But he also had some sweet leather jackets he used to wear on stage.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, they're still going to have Ubisoft, Square Enix, Capcom, Sega, and Otterbox Gaming.
No, Sega's not going to be at B's. Remember, we talked about that just a couple of weeks ago. They backed out at the last minute after announcing that they were going to be because their stuff's not going to be ready. Oh wait, was it Sega or was it Konami? Oh, never mind.
It was Konami. Konami. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm old.
I was just going to say they haven't told E3 then because they're still listed on the sponsors. But
no, but yeah. That was Konami. That was Konami.
And I remember because we made a big joke about Konami had games they were going to show.
Yep.
Pachinko? But there's going to be Otterbox Gaming is going to be there.
Otterbox Gaming?
I can only assume that's gaming
peripherals.
Like peripherals.
Okay.
Same as Turtle Beach and Gearbox is going to be there.
Nice.
I don't see is Devolver Digital, but they were at Summer Game Fest.
Ooh.
Theirs is a blast to watch.
Yeah, it
used to be awesome to watch because they're not great if you're queasy.
Yeah.
But so it's still going to check it out because we have been craving something like this for a long time. Me personally, anyway. I don't know.
Oh, definitely.
But it's great to have these one-ofs where Sony will do one and then Nintendo does a direct, once every year and a half. And but it'll be nice to have like something where it's an event, even if it's a virtual event, right? It's just where you're flooding you're getting flooded with news,
Yeah.
even if a lot of it is just.
Well, because even Jeff Keighley's thing last summer,
Mhm.
the video game, the video game Summerfest, like
Yep.
it ran for like a month.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I mean, we're like we read the news pretty constantly, and we missed stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like
it was all day, and he just kept dropping stuff.
Yeah, and just like it was the right idea, but just nobody knew about anything ever happening. Like just suddenly you'd be like, "Hey, catch up this summary of this presentation." It's like, "Oh man, like really? How the heck did I miss this?" But now it's all compressed into like 2 weeks. So,
and also Google not at E3. No Stadia either. But Freedom Games will be there.
Freedom Games, all right. I don't know what they make, but
all I know is it's not free. It costs folks like you and me.
Absolutely.
About $1.05. So yeah, going to be watching that. Very exciting. And then hot off the presses.
Hot off the presses.
Hot off the presses. Boop, 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 boop,
boop. Valve, they're making a Switch-like portable codenamed Steam Pal.
They should probably, hopefully they work on the naming before that comes out.
Yeah. So I think they see the potential of mobile gaming and moving the stuff over onto a portable platform. I mean, Nvidia had something like this already, and it's kind of what the Switch was based on, right? And so they know it can be done. It'll be just interesting to see like how much of your Steam library you'll be able to play over onto this.
Yeah. I mean, there are several people. Like I was just watching a video on an AMD Ryzen based Switch device that played games really well. I mean, some of the APUs now they're really powerful. Like integrated graphics have come a long way. Yeah. Especially the 5700 and the 5600G, which you can't actually buy. You have to buy a system to get it. So eBay has a gray market where you can buy stuff that people have ripped out on eBay and get these processors. And the integrated graphics for them, it's really leaps and bounds where it was. So when you have integrated graphics chip, people have been putting them in these handhelds, and it's really cool to see that you can get a computer that is like a 2018. It would have been a top of the line computer. Yeah, and hold it in your hand and play games on it, right? Like it's mind blowing.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I do like that Steam doesn't just sit on their laurels and like take everyone's money and just be this purveyor of PC games, like their online service, I forget the name of it. Their online service that you can stream to your PC or phone.
I'm not sure.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm just not describing it very well.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what Steam calls theirs. Steam streaming service. Hold on, people.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Anyways, even if they do something like that where you're streaming the game to this or something like.
Yeah, remote play.
Yeah.
Steam remote play, yeah. And you just have to have a computer that is actually running the game, and then it streams it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Which, again, is something you can do with your NVIDIA Shield, right? As well.
Yeah, sure.
So, anyways, but...
I don't know why we couldn't remember the name of that. That's...
Again, the theme of this one.
A peek behind the curtain of what we... Oh, it was originally the original code name for this was also called Neptune.
Ooh,
that sounds. You should have kept Neptune.
I think that's all we got for news. That was the last bit of news.
Yeah.
So Why don't you tell us what you've been playing this week, Rob?
All right, what I've been playing. Well, I was getting an itch. I've been playing a lot of Octopath, and I'm still playing Octopath. But going back to what you were saying about some of the things in the Zelda game there, taking an hour and 3/4 just to get to a certain point and then dying. I was starting to get that with Octopath, so I'm like, I just need a break.
Yeah.
And when I need a break game, I tend to go to Borderlands because it's like the chicken noodle soup of my video gaming library. But I'm like, you know what? A game I never played because it was always like the redheaded stepchild of the Borderlands family. Borderlands, the pre-sequel. So I've been playing that on PC, and it's
Nice.
the only one they farmed out to Gearbox Australia.
Oh.
It was actually not the same development team that did it, and it's actually really good. I'm really enjoying it. It's the timeline is between 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
Or was it? No, it's supposed to be between 1 and 2, but it was actually released between 2 and 3. And it's basically it starts with your character getting kidnapped by not kidnapped, but your character, you're a vault hunter, bounty hunter kind of person who gets you're being questioned by Lilith about your involvement with Handsome Jack, who's the main protagonist of 2. And basically you're retelling the story, and they have cut-ins with the other characters as well, and you get to know kind of Handsome Jack's fall from a kind of an anti-hero but still a decently good guy to the murderous psychopath that you get to know him as. So
yeah,
it's really good. It's interesting playing because the voice actors, except for the main characters, all have a heavy Australian accent. And it just kind of stands out because, like, all the other characters who aren't Lilith, Handsome Jack, they're all Australian.
Awesome.
And it's cool. You know, it makes it different. And the main difference between the games is you're playing a lot of the game in zero gravity when you're on a moon outside, so you have oxygen to worry about. And you have these Aussie kits, they're O2 kits that you get early in the game. So it adds another mechanic because it's a lot of it's low gravity, and you're also trying to get from point to point where there's atmosphere. So it adds quite a bit to the platforming and things like that. The graphics are still top notch. You know, they're really good. The engine's the same, same art look. So
was this one episodic when it was released initially?
No. There was a episodic Telltale, not Telltales. Was it Telltale?
Yeah, Telltale. Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah. This one was a one and done. I don't even know if there was DLC for it, but
okay.
It's
cool.
A fun game. Having a lot of fun with it. It's scratching the itch. And it's a game I always meant to come back to, so
nice.
Yeah.
Kind of like it was in your backlog of good intentions.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's a game I always looked at and went, right, I should play this.
I got a whole long list like that.
So yeah, and I mean, you can pick it up. It's in lots of Humble bundles and stuff. It's on the Switch, that bundle of games, that Handsome Jack collection, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
So it fits in that thing where even on a decent video card, you can play it in 4K at 60 frames a second. So looks really good, and it plays exactly like the same game. The fighting and everything's all similar. It's just everyone's got Australian accents.
Awesome.
So, yeah. And then Octopath, because still working my way through that. I will beat that game. One thing I did buy, I took it upstairs, but I picked up an actual guide. I haven't bought a paper guide for something in, when's the last time I bought a guide? It's been a long time.
Wow.
But it's such a deep game. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss a lot of the side quests and stuff. So I like having it's got guides and maps and things that I had kind of wished I had as I was playing it. So
Right. Oh,
yeah,
awesome. Huh.
and that's about it.
Okay.
That's what I'm playing. How about you, there, buddy guy?
Well, as we mentioned, it was snowing a week ago, but then it got really nice. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been spending a lot of time outside,
Yep.
just working on the yard and, just not playing video games.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So when I have had time, I've just been back playing Apex Legends and Warzone, Call of Duty
Right.
Warzone. So yeah, been having still tons of fun doing that. And I have snuck in a little bit of Assassin's Creed 3 here and there, um, in the evenings before bed. Uh,
Right.
it's it's now that I'm a little further into the game, it's really cool to see, like, because the first one I played was Origins, Assassin's Creed
Mm-hmm.
Origins, and just seeing a lot of stuff that's like evolved into Origins.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the things, and it's like my favorite part of the game. It's such a stupid little thing, but to kind of like open up an area and see a map better, you always climb to the highest point
Yep.
and do like a scan, but
Mm-hmm.
then you always jump off
Oh
into
yeah.
into like a hay cart, which is always
Mm-hmm.
right by right by these towers, right?
Yep.
But
Yep.
I've done that a few times now in Assassin's Creed 3, and I was like, like I said, it's so dumb, but it's like one of my favorite things, like
Sure.
of of Origins was just like this party puts his arms out and does a big dive right off, like
Yeah.
right into a cart full of hay.
And that's when he finds at the end someone left an anvil in the middle of the.
Right, yeah, it was the blacksmith's cart of hay.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Oh, the other thing I put some time into is Overwatch. It's their 5th anniversary right now, and they've
Hmm.
got a 3-week event going on, where they've added a bunch of new skins, plus made available a bunch of other older ones that they've had in other events.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's I've been hopping in there, just trying to get my loot boxes and to get some of this stuff. But
Oh, sure.
yeah, I actually hit level 100 last week on Overwatch on the Switch.
Wow. Well.
Yeah, and when you hit 101, you get a little star by your name, and you start off at level 1. So it's like, uh, I think in the Call of Duty they used to call that prestige.
Gotcha.
So I'm now working on my prestige. I still another great game. Like I'm definitely like having a real like renaissance of like first person shooters again. Like they're always kind of there in my peripheral, but
Mm-hmm.
man,
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
playing a ton of them lately. And uh my best friend Sean there, I've got him hooked on Apex Legends now, so he's like almost every night we've been playing a little bit, and
Yep.
been a whole lot of fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I was just thinking to what you were saying about been busy.
Mm-hmm.
What's also been tying up a lot of the week here as well has been watching playoff hockey as
Oh yeah.
the Oilers.
Yes.
Yeah, they're out. It was 4 very heart-wrenching games to watch.
Oh, so close.
But at least now it frees up more time for
Yeah, playing the video games.
playing more video games. So there's that. And also, I downloaded that NHL 94 just before the show here.
Oh,
94 for Xbox. So I'll be trying that tonight. So it's a game I'm not playing, but a game that I'm looking forward to trying tonight. So
excellent.
yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I think that's it for what we've been playing. Let's we have something that's making us a little grumpy this week, I think.
Yeah, and it was both of us came up with the same ideas. So it's
we're actually going to talk about this in news, but when I heard how fired up Rob was about this,
yeah, I want to pull up the. I think I had the article here.
Do you want to intro this? I usually intro these, but what's making you grumpy this week, Rob?
Well, it was. I want to just get the article here quick, just so I can see when they did it. But game that it wasn't really on my radar. It's kind of the game that I knew of, but never really had to try. I don't know if you tried it, but Skyward Sword. It was like the we were talking about redheaded stepchildren.
Yeah.
Would you say this is the redheaded stepchild of the Zelda series? Maybe.
I think so. I think the idea of waggle controls really, like, I think people kind of enjoyed it when Twilight Princess, like, because Twilight Princess was a launch title for the Wii,
right?
And definitely the novelty of it, but I don't know, like, I don't know a whole lot of people who played Skyward Sword.
Yeah. So what they've done is Nintendo announced, and this is very recent, so Tuesday, that there's going to be a new Amiibo, as they typically do for, first-party games. In the same breath that they announced, Zelda, in the same breath they announced that with this Amiibo, Link will now be able to fast travel. Okay, that's neat. Fast traveling in a Zelda game, there's a lot of game in there. It saves a lot of time. So somebody asked at the time, "Oh, that's very cool. Do you have to buy the Amiibo to fast travel?" Several reporters have asked this, and all of them have gotten replies that just have a link pointing back to the announcement of the Amiibo. So, this Amiibo, $25 US, they're looking at. It's got a couple characters. It's a nice looking Amiibo. I mean, it's got. I'm just going to share the screen here so that people can see what this Amiibo looks like.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. Totally am. Share screen. Bam. There we go. So this right here. Nice looking Amiibo. It's got Zelda and one of those flying loft wings, I guess. Sure.
Yeah.
So what's grinding our gears is hiding what is essentially a feature that games just have nowadays in a remake or a remaster. I don't know where you'd classify it as, but hiding it behind a $25 Amiibo. That's I'm kind of hoping there's going to be a walk back on this where they're like, "Oh, we're actually including it in the game. We thought about it. We listened to our fans. It's just going to be a feature in the game," because that's a real bad look. What do you think, Ryan?
So, I'm not surprised by this.
No,
no. And I think this is the first time that something has actually interested people enough, like a feature in the game. So I pulled up a couple of other ones here just as examples of. So the first time I kind of encountered like Amiibo, Nintendo's been really like setting Amiibos up to be cheats. No other way to put it.
Yeah.
So on the 3DS, Metroid Samus Returns had Amiibo. Like you could use the Metroid Amiibos on it. So just listen to a couple of these. Okay. So if you tap the Samus Aran Amiibo, it fills your energy reserve tank with 500 units of energy.
Right.
Okay. Which is almost impossible to get otherwise. Okay. If you tap just the Metroid one, it'll show you on the map the next closest location of a Metroid on your map, whether you've been there or not. It just shows it on your map. Okay. If you tap the Zero Suit Samus, it unlocks an extra energy tank that'll give you 299 units of energy.
Right.
Okay. And then if it just tap the regular Samus one, it fills up your missile reserve tank. And you can do this at any time in the game.
Yeah.
You pause, you tap your Amiibos. So also, Super Mario Odyssey. Okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking of Super Mario Odyssey with the
3 in the wedding outfits, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bowser, if you tap him, he reveals location of regional coins. So you have an idea where to head. If you tap Mario, it gives you temporary invincibility, no matter what time you're at in the
Yeah.
game. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a game. You're basically getting a Game Genie cheat with an
Yeah.
amiibo, right? Yeah.
And if you tap Peach, you get an extra life up heart. Okay. So these are things in Odyssey, like you don't need them, but they really significantly help the game. So then we get to Breath of the Wild, and this is where I think Nintendo really went off the rails.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically any of the associated Zelda Link amiibos would do something in the game. The big one with this one was more of a pain for people, but if you had the Wolf Link amiibo, which the only way you could get it, the Wolf Link amiibo, you couldn't buy it separately, is if you bought the HD version of Twilight Princess on the Wii U. That's the only way you could get this amiibo. But it gives you a wolf in game that comes and fights by your side in Breath of the Wild. Okay, so that's pretty significant. But then they really went off the rails. After when the DLC came out, they released the 4 champion as amiibos. Now you could get special armor by tapping these guys, but only a chance at it, and you can only tap them once a day.
Right.
Okay, so and also the only way to get Epona, like Link's famous horse, Epona, is by tapping the Link Rider amiibo where he's riding a horse. And again, it's a chance at getting a horse.
Yeah.
Like, so they've been quietly doing this, and like a lot of, like, when I told people about this, like, because I had a Guardian amiibo when I was playing Breath of the Wild, and I would tap that every day to get Guardian parts because they're the hardest thing to farm, right?
Yeah. I remember that's the really big Guardian amiibo, right? Yeah.
So you tap that, and a crate falls from the sky, and it's full of Guardian parts. So but so they've been quietly doing this, but this is the first time that people are actually like taking notice.
I would say there's a difference, and the other things totally like were all things that were cheats. Like essentially, like you said, it's just cheating the system. This is the first thing where they're like, this should probably be in the game anyway,
right? As a quality of life,
like, just like a feature, an upgrade to making a game a little more like Breath of the Wild, or something that had fast travel in it, right? You see a tower, you can now fast travel to the tower or whatever it is. And, but I remember with the Guardian, you used to have, and I've done that with Odyssey too, where you're like, you have all your amiibos set out, and you're like, oh yeah, just whoop, oh now I got hearts, now I'm invincible.
So when I picked up 3D All-Star, not all 3D All-Stars, Super Mario 3D World, I picked up the 2 amiibos that came with that. And and my wife used them like throughout the entire game, because one of them, you tap it and you get the white bell, which is what the game, it's basically an invulnerability cat suit. Which is what the game gives you if you've died more than 3 times on that level. Yeah, so but now you can get it anytime. You just tap that amiibo. And another one, and the other one just gives you hearts, like fills your hearts up. So
right.
But no, I agree, like there is a differentiation in that I mean, these other things are cheats and like just make the game easier. But this one for Skyward Sword is a little frustrating, because if you want to take advantage of this new feature, which really should just be in the game, you've got to buy. So that's 25 American, so what, 35 Canadian?
Yeah, it'd be something like that, yeah. And like a thing with Amiibo is some of the popular ones, they're very hard to get.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you might not be able to get this, and it'd be like if Blizzard, now that Blizzard's owned by EA, I imagine, or Activision, they're owned by Activision.
Yeah.
It'd be like if they're like, okay, Diablo 4, yeah, guys, all like it, good. There's loot boxes to get the chance to get waypoints. If you don't want to just walk all the way from where you're at to back to town.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. That's another thing. So on Diablo 3 on the Switch, there was a limited edition.
Oh yeah,
loot goblin amiibo, like super hard to find.
Yeah. Yep.
But it gave you a loot goblin every time you scanned it, like access to the loot goblin.
Yeah. That's right.
Activision was just all over that. They're like
we love this.
How can we put this in our own games?
That's right. That's right. Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, it's kind of frustrating. Like, the other examples I was giving just really show like what they were building towards, right? And
yeah,
you know, like why not just make it so that Link is temporarily invincible or something?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I mean, they've done it before in the past, right? Like,
yeah, that seems to be a pretty common like, or like if you can fill your meters, your health or something, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah. This one's bad for him, Nintendo. Bad for him.
Yeah, hopefully they walk back on it, but when is that launch? July 16th?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. So, it's also funny they never they didn't have this ready when they initially announced the remaster, you know? I'm still thinking there's going to be some sort of Zelda event because we're in the 35th year, and this is the only real like Zelda thing happening, right?
Yeah.
Like I thought they were like because they announced this before the end of the Mario stuff at the end of March, there, right? Like Mario's Death Day, March 31st.
Yep.
But well, yeah, you know what? I was just going to also point out that the Joy-Cons that they announced, the pre-orders came and went, and you cannot find one for nothing. They were just snatched right up. So, man, yeah. So, I don't know. Did you have any plans on trying this out, or
no,
no?
Not at all. If it was a game and they were re-releasing it and let's say it was $20, I might, but I might even actually already own a copy on it for the Wii.
I have it for the Wii.
Yeah, I don't actually. Thought I did. I have Twilight Princess. That's the one I have.
Right.
Also, yeah. Just yeah. It's like Resident Evil 8. Will it be good? Yeah. Am I going to just watch a playthrough of it? Probably. That's which is what I did with 8. I'm watching 3 different playviews of it because I want to know the story.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that, but I have no desire to play the game at all. So
I think I'm going to try it. I mean, I got a lot of other things to play right now, so I'll probably just pick it up at a later time.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, I love Breath of the Wild so much, and I've heard that like a lot of the things developed in Skyward Sword were kind of ported over. Like, though there's the whole you don't have a glider, but you got like a sheet or something that you use for flying. So
and wasn't Skyward Sword the first stamina meter?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Not popular at the time, but it's kind of become a Zelda staple. So,
so yeah, that's making us grumpy this week.
Well, if you do decide you're going to get it, post some video of you swinging your arms around.
Absolutely. Shield, sword, shield.
Yep.
let's take this crazy train into the station. And I just want to thank everyone for watching / listening. We appreciate you. If you want to drop us a line, let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you want to see more of, less of, something we're not doing. We do Let's Plays. If there's a game you want to see us play, let us know about that. You can just send us an email to makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. Love to hear from you. And, you can check us out on Facebook. Just search The Grumpy Old Gamers. That's where most of our activity happens. And we got a website, thegrumpyoldgamers.com. We post stuff there sometimes.
True.
Not as often as we should.
No, it's there. That's where most of the game, like the written reviews and things, would be there. So
yeah,
and there are some bangers.
There are some really good stuff there.
Yeah,
mostly from this guy. You're on my screen here. You're over here, but I always got to remember to. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, listening, and hope to see you next week. See ya.
Good night. Bye bye.